pastor of Greater Victory Christian Ministries in Lorain, Ohio, and also a member of the Lorain City School Board of Education.
My name's David Ashenhurst. I'm a former city councilman in Oberlin.
Hello everyone, my name is Forrest Bullocks. I am the clerk of Elyria City Council.
I'm Claudia Jones, president of the Oberlin NAACP unit.
I'm Bob Jones, a member of the NAACP in Oberlin and retired police chief in Oberlin.
Debbie Moore. I'm with the Women's Campus Project. It's a women's shelter.
Bill Bruder, and I represent the Ministerial Alliance.
Thank you everyone for coming. We're here today because of some tragic events that happened over the weekend in Charlottesville, Virginia. So first we need to honor those folks who have braved circumstances to come out and stand for justice. We also need to recognize the 32-year-old student, a woman that lost her life. So I want to just ask for a moment of silence. Thank you. In 2017, we should not be having moments of silence because of a person that lost their life due to racial incidents. The Fair-Minded Coalition of Lorain County, as you know, has been petitioning the Lorain County Fair Board to remove the Confederate flag, not remove it, but to ban the sale of the Confederate flag at the county fair. In 2015, the State of Ohio Fair banned the sale of the flag without incident at the Ohio State Fair. Most people probably thought that county fairs just fell in line and did the same thing, but they did not. Our county fair in particular went to great lengths to make sure that the other 87 counties could continue to sell the flag. Our county fair has been very challenging in terms of getting them to change their minds. Our coalition has done a number of things since actually 2015. We've attended their fair board meetings. We've gone before them every time just simply asking them to either follow the lead of the Ohio State Fair Board or follow their own policies. And their policy states, under no circumstances will items of a questionable nature be in any means tolerated on fairgrounds or in the buildings. So they're in violation of their own policies, and also they're in total disregard of the state of Ohio. But they've gone a little bit further. At Tuesday's Fair Board meeting, the Fair Board decided that, well, the way they put it was they hope the YWCA has a good lawyer that understands defamation and libel, because we will be getting a letter from them. In my world, that means they're threatening to sue us. I don't know if that was an intimidation tactic, but I guess it did make me fearful, but fearful in a different way than what they anticipated. It made me fearful because if they are this vehement about keeping the sale of the Confederate flag at the fair, if they're more concerned about a few vendors than they are about hundreds and thousands of Lorain County citizens and people across the country who want the flag removed, then we have a problem. And so, in exercising our free speech as a coalition, their response is, we will sue you. But again, that's not even the main reason we're here today. The main reason that our coalition is here, and there's some folks that are going to speak for why they're here, but the reason our coalition is here today is because we had planned some activities to happen in Wellington during Fair Week. We want to use this press conference to announce that we're reconsidering what actions we will be doing in Wellington if we take any action at all. And it's basically because if people can come out and do what they did in Charlottesville, Virginia, what's stopping those same people that are anti what we're doing to keep the what's stopping the same people that are pro selling the flag at the fair from organizing and coming down to Lorain County? I'm pleased today to have with me, raise your hands, my niece and nephew. They're from Connecticut. He's 21, she's 26. When they were 16 and, do the math, 12 maybe? Yeah, something like 16 and 12, they went to the county fair. They're from Connecticut. They'd not seen a county fair before. I was just amazed at the wonder in their faces of attending such a fair, family-oriented, Lorain County, yeah, showing what we're made of, showing how proud we are. But now they're here visiting, and that same fair that they were proud of is threatening to them.
Why? Is
threatening to our way of life here in Lorain County. We can do better. We can do so much better.
What did Lorain County do?
So, I think I got all the points in that I wanted to talk about. Now I'm going to ask Commissioner Matt Lundy, because remember, it was the Lorain Board of Commissioners that asked the Fair Board to remove the flag. And so they're in violation of even following what their own Fair Board wanted them to do. So Matt, would you come and elaborate?
Yeah, I was just going to say you guys should be very proud of your aunt. She's a very strong lady, very intelligent lady, and is doing an amazing job heading up the fair-minded citizens. I think, as Janine pointed out, I think it's best to start first by expressing our sympathies to the family of Heather Heyer, and also let's not forget the two Virginia State Troopers, Troopers Collin and Bates, who were killed when their helicopter crashed. They were part of the safety forces working that event, and all those who were injured as well too. You know, as we looked at the videos and we looked at the frames of pictures on Facebook of that rally, there was one constant, and the constant was the Confederate flag. The flag clearly is a symbol of hate, not love. The flag clearly is a divisive symbol, not a symbol used to unite us. This county is very proud of its history. We're very proud of our heritage. We're very proud that Lorain County is home to the Underground Railroad. We're very proud that Lorain County is the county hosting the International City of Lorain. This flag does not represent the family values of Lorain County families. Our families embrace diversity, and we want all, and I stress all, to feel welcomed in this county and at the county fair. We want our neighbors treated with dignity and respect. The request is very simple, and it's a very reasonable request by the fair-minded citizens, and that is to simply follow the lead of the State Fair Board. The State Fair Board has said it's offensive. We don't want it. Everybody was concerned the State Fair Board was going to be sued. They weren't. There was no Confederate flag at the State Fair this year either. So it's a policy that has been put in place by the State Fair Board, should be modeled by our county fair as well. So in closing, I would just say remove the flag and send a very clear message that in Lorain County, we believe in love, we reject hate, we believe in unity, not division, and we believe that hate, or any symbol of hate, has no place in Lorain County.
Amen.
Good afternoon. As I introduced myself earlier, Frank Whitfield, the President and CEO of the Lorain County Urban League. First off, would like to extend our condolences to the families and victims in Charlottesville. Our thoughts and prayers are with them. We at the Lorain County Urban League, I'm going to take this off, stand with those who value unity. We stand with those who value diversity and inclusion. And we stand with those who are against racism, bigotry, discrimination, and hatred. I believe now more than ever we have the opportunity to get racism and get this thing right. Historically, we have a history here in America that we really haven't unpacked, and now we have an opportunity to relearn and undo the binds of racism that impact our society economically, educationally, politically, and socially. And don't think for one second this type of mindset displayed in Virginia doesn't exist in our backyard. Honestly, it's actually even been reported that this young man lived in Northern Ohio. But we can make that mindset an anomaly and not the norm. We can create a culture that values differences and doesn't diminish them. And at the Urban League, we're trying to do that. We're trying to address this issue of creating a culture of inclusion, of diversity, and dispel and get rid of racism. And I'm off the cuff on this one comment I'll make, is that the greatest trick of racism is that it has tricked poor white people to believe that it benefits them as well, that it was created for them. In actuality, there's a lot more that we have in common in our struggle with the poor and middle-class white people than we would like to entertain and understand. And I think this is an opportunity for us to unite and really recognize the forces that are trying to divide us. So one of the pieces the Urban League is doing on September 17th, we're trying to have a community conversation at Lorain County Community College. September 17th, we'll have Dr. Joel King, the cousin of Dr. King, there to have a conversation with black, white, and really address this from a faith-based perspective on what we can do to unify our county and work together for our common good. So, thank you.
Good afternoon. A few weeks ago, well, actually last year when I came to the commission, I recommended that we protest. We rally in front of the county fair. We let them know that we're here. The county fair doesn't just represent Wellington and Grafton and the other townships. That it represents the city of Lorain, it represents the city of Elyria. That is a large portion of minorities. I love going to the county fair. Last year, I brought up a legislation to start letting farm animals come to our city, chickens. And I put a cow or a pig in my backyard. Why? I like farm animals, but they also help. They go green. I can eat the eggs. You know, let's see how we can all unite. Why can't we take the kids from the minority neighborhoods and take them to the farm and show them how to milk a cow and show them how to ride a horse? And then we see this flag, and we see the hate that this flag brings. You don't have to like the flag. This state had nothing to do with that flag. We were from the north. That flag now represents hate. Nazis and the Klan. They utilize that flag as their banner. But we're here now to stay and stand together and united. And as we've seen what happened over this weekend, it didn't promote nothing of love and unity. It promoted hate and ignorance. And so as we see that, and we see that that gentleman, as was stated, comes from the state of Ohio, we have to take a step back and say protest against protest will never do anything but bring more conflict and walls. So as an elected official in our community, I reach out to the county fair board and I ask them to sit down with us, because we can protest till we're green in the face, or they can be just as ignorant as everyone else that allows and promotes that just to make a dollar. If the rest of the state does not approve of this, why do you? So I ask you to sit down with us. How can we bring the kids from the inner city to your fairgrounds? And how can you bring the kids from the farms to the inner city and understand both lifestyles? How can we work together? So as we take a step back from wanting to protest, now we put a hand out and say it's time for us to build the bridge. Because as we learned this weekend, protest against protest will bring nothing but pain and struggle. Not just only for the brown and dark skin, or even the Caucasian, but also now the line of blue lost some lives as they were going out to protect the people that didn't know anything on whatever side they were on. So this is where we as a community, with or against the flag, need to stand together, unite, and say it's time to work together. Thank you and God bless you.
Good afternoon. I'm Sal Rivera, Chief of Police in the City of Lorain. I actually came on short notice this afternoon, because I received an invitation. And I received an invitation from the people behind me who I have a tremendous amount of affection and respect for. And so if they ask me to be here, I'm going to be here with them. I think in light of what happened the last couple of days, it's incumbent upon all of us to reflect. And to reflect on what does our country mean, and who are we? And what I saw, I've been pretty silent on this issue, but yeah, the last line in that invitation today said, if you don't condemn it, you condone it. And that touched me. So that's why I'm here. And what I'm going to recommend is that I'm going to ask the Fair Board and the vendors. We're talking about, this is a time that we need to heal. We need to pay our last respects to the victims in Virginia and all the victims that have been the victims of this type of crime. And we're talking about a fair that's only a week away. And I think it's time for us just to heal and to voluntarily not sell that flag this year. That Fair Board and the vendors to voluntarily say they'll put aside that flag for this year, and then we'll spend the next year having dialogue, talking about how much we mean to each other, and taking all perspectives into place, and maybe we can come to a solution that respects everybody's feelings on this. Okay?